Previously on the Bobblehead Boys. The party came to meet each other in an impromptu standoff outside of the presumably abandoned Vault 95. After exchanging pleasantries,
You, lady in the jumpsuit, check in the vault. Let me know what's in there. Open the doors.
Well, now I don't like you.
they quickly dispatched a band of raiders.
Scavengers out here trying to follow the girl! Light 'em up, boys!
And entered Vault 95. The brave adventurers navigated the vault security system and happened across a pair of skeletons just outside of a locked door.
Yeah, so you check out the two skeletons. You notice that their yellowed bones appear to be incredibly old. You notice that both skeletons are wearing bloodstained blue jumpsuits that indicate that they were vault dwellers of Vault 95. One of the skeleton's hands seemed to be grasping the neck of the other corpse, which appears to have had the back of its skull shattered. The skeleton on top has a rusty knife still thrust into its sternum, suggesting that both figures killed each other at the same time. The corpse's pockets contain several empty chem injectors, but are otherwise empty or have been looted.
Well, through the door, bucko. I mean, into the unknown, boys.
Okay, so, well, both ways are unknown. You say door.
Well, I've already walked this far. Right there.
Into the door, you say then?
Well, him first.
Of course, obviously. So the handle to the door is you notice like blood smeared on the handle, of course, but the door is locked. So
I don't have any lock pins.
I can kick it.
Oh no, I do have bobby pins. I have many bobby pins, and I also have the lock picking skill.
of course you do. Yeah, all the things.
Because I'm a Jill of all trades.
Jill. All right, so picking the lock would be a perception plus lockpick with a difficulty of 1.
Oh, that's not bad. That's beautiful. Nobody minds that I go ahead and do this. I just kind of forged ahead, and that is 2 successes.
Nice. You want one of those APs
I
back?
would love one of them APs back. Oh, but we have 4.
All right. So with very little effort, you managed to unlock the door. You enter a small room with 2 walls lined with dusty, disabled computers. Ashtrays, empty chem injections, and broken bottles litter the floor. A single working computer and monitor glows with a dull green light on a desk cluttered with files. Sitting with her back slumped up against an adjacent desk is a young woman with short, dark hair, wearing warm, tight-fitting clothes suited for long-distance travel. Her glasses lay askew on her nose, one of the lenses fractured. Her hands are soaked with blood as they try to apply pressure to a vicious hole in her abdomen. After a few moments, she looks up and speaks in a serene but pained voice. "Hey, Daddy-O," she says, smiling enough that you can see her broken teeth. "Looks like you're all stuck with me now. Please come in and lock the door quickly behind you. Security will be making its rounds. You don't want them to find you."
So I reverse bobby pin the door.
Mm-hmm.
What security?
Vault security.
Humans?
Robots.
Oh no.
Once the door is closed, the individual that's been with you immediately kind of kneels next to the young lady and starts trying to stop her bleeding. He even takes off his lab coat, starts kind of wrapping her and everything, and just trying to make sure that she
It's hard to turn
she does not die. Yeah. The whole time, this young lady just keeps her eyes fixed on the screen.
Can I throw him a stim pack? Possibly at least take her out of some of the pain. I don't know if it'll heal the wound.
You can. To be honest, he's kind of like
He's already kind of
he's pretty
administering as
equipped.
much.
Yeah, he's grabbing stuff out. Like he seems to be. He's got a lab coat, so he seems to have some
Like,
lab
well,
stuff.
Once you wear the lab coat,
it comes equipped with everything you need.
I would like to offer them any guano instead.
I can give you
Just a super mutant.
hungry. While he's working on that, do you guys want to look through the room at all while the young lady's being searched?
I definitely want to go to the one computer that's still functional and see what we can garner from it.
Okay.
I want to look for like robot parts or dead robots anywhere in this room if there aren't any.
Okay.
Any signs of robot death.
Okay. What is what is Mr. Tallman doing?
I would like to look around too.
We're gonna just look around in general.
I don't know what's there.
Okay. So I'm gonna. So your two answers kind of lead me in a pretty good direction. Mr. Tallman, we have some options here because there's like files all over the table. So are you like looking through paperwork, or are you like opening things? Kind of. Okay, got it. Perfect.
Stuff.
All right. So we're gonna start with the computers. Augusta started going through the decommissioned computers. Most of the computers in this room are lifeless. You can try to kind of strip them from any parts that you may be able to use. In which case you would do an intelligence plus repair test with a difficulty of 0.
I'm less interested in the nuts and bolts of old, disused computers and more about any information that I might garner from any computer that might still be operational.
Okay. So you realize that the computers are not working. Let's do
I thought you
this.
said there was the one behind her was still functional.
It's I'm just reading through everything.
Oh,
it says they're lifeless.
Oh,
They're lit, but they're not doing anything. It's like the monitors. There's a light in it.
the light is on, but nobody's
home.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
yeah. Welcome to our life.
Well, then for fun, yeah, I'm just stripping.
All right. So it'd be an intelligence plus repair. Actually, though, I'm gonna kibosh your own idea, and let's do a perception plus survival test, or a difficulty of 1.
Perception and survival. Oh, you would make me blow chunks at this.
It's about time.
That is nothing.
Nothing.
No, finally not good at something.
Oh wow. Well, you were getting really frustrated with the computer, and you did notice a bunch of files scattered on the desk that seemed to contain a bunch of medical and psychological reports. But other than that, didn't really seem to be very interesting to you. So you come across, like, all the drawers that you open are empty, but you do come across one that is indeed locked. So you do a perception plus lockpick test, but it would be a difficulty of 3.
I can walk you through it, sir, but you have to be the one.
Or you can try to just smash it.
Right?
Which is a strength, which would be a strength plus lockpick test with a difficulty of 2.
Okay, I'm just gonna go for it.
Just smash it?
Yeah. It's a 9.
You did it?
I got an 8 in the sleep.
Oh man, you just ripped that door right out. Nice. So you rip that open, and you hear glass kind of clinking together as you open it up, and there is a bottle of booze, something stuffed in there. Roll 2d20. Add them together. 30. You find some Brahmin milk.
Oh,
That's a glass
disgusting.
jar of
Brahmin
Brahmin milk. You don't know how long it's been there.
Yeah, seriously, how long has it been there? It's like
It's actually more cheese.
It could have been rum. So then it would be Marvin. Marvin, you.
That's me.
That
That's
is
you.
Yeah.
You're so used to having the robot.
Yeah.
Byron, you were looking around for like dead robot stuff. Yeah, so I'm assuming I'm putting this under scavenging for supplies. So most of this room has long since been looted. Do a perception plus survival test with a difficulty of 2.
Ugh. Got 1. I'm not 2.
Use one of them luck points to make you
Yeah, we're not.
When's it ever gonna come back to haunt you?
No.
Now,
Now,
this room
apparently.
seems like it's been looted before. Like it doesn't seem to be anything useful to you, and it's actually a little bit infuriating because you don't like to be in here, stuck with all these humans in a locked room. This is.
At least there's no dead robots.
There's no dead robots, but there are a lot of live humans,
Yes.
which we don't like. All right, so
Yes.
Mr. Tallman, going through the desk drawers. So as soon as you pick her up, I mean, she lets you. She introduces herself as Mika, because obviously you guys don't care about.
Shush, we don't care. Okay.
I can help you. I can reward you with some technology. I have resources if I can just get to. I have a place back in Diamond City, and if I can get there, I have things I can help you with.
There's a chip in my shirt.
And that's it. We're just gonna pick her up and start heading out.
I thought you were talking about the chip in my shirt.
That's it. Just a chip in your shirt and not a care in the world.
Yeah. I mean, unless some robot fiends were interested in starting a robot uprising and trying to chase us out of the building. As long as I think you don't see any robots, I think we can kind of convince you to go with us. Maybe she's got some robotic technology that you would be mighty interested in.
I want to peek around the corner, see if I could see any robots.
I like that
We'll
idea.
just grab
I like
the
the
robot.
idea.
Just
You
coming
don't
out
need
of the
to.
room, just kind of peeking around the corner.
So, if I remember correctly, we were in a corridor. There's a door on the right.
Yeah.
Goes around.
Yeah.
I just want to go.
Oh,
look
so
around.
in the corridor or the door on the left. I gotcha.
You just like grab the robot and take him with us.
You don't
Okay.
care so much.
So you're leaving the
One
room.
over the
and we're
shoulder.
gonna do this,
Take
actually.
him off. He's floating already.
Actually, to be fair, Bob in the last campaign carried 4 of us up a tree.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah,
When did that happen?
we were in the.
When we were at the bottom of the tree.
Yeah, remember there was a tree growing up to the
That's
building.
true.
It was like
Oh
the only way out.
yeah.
And so he like carried all of us because we left somebody, maybe Nat downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because-
Castro.
He walked out with the other guy.
Yeah, he was unconscious and he woke up and he was like, I don't know where my friends are. Friends.
Okay, so as soon as you step out from the doorway from that room,
Brethren.
Pop a cap in the robot.
Why do you feel like he's not on our side?
Oh, he's not. I have no idea what his character actor says, like whatever it was. However he's playing it, he sounds a lot like
he's
Caesar.
doing
Yeah,
very
he
well.
pretty much is Caesar, honestly.
If you had died in the last campaign, I would have
Robot
taken a brain
Caesar.
went into
Yeah. At the
Except this
far
time he doesn't like humans.
At the far end of the hall, a floating Mr. Gutsy robot appears from around the corner. The machine is a spherical bot with 3 ocular devices extending from its top and 3 heavily armed mechanical tendrils stretching out from its base. It spins around in a circle, focusing its camera-like eyes on you, and a deafening alarm rings throughout the hall.
Mr. Gutsy.
Yeah, so here we are. We're staring down the hallway, and Mr. Gutsy has come around the corner and spots you all. This is very likely the Vault Tech security that Mika was warning you about.
My fellow man in armor. It is me, Marvin. How do you do?
Hello, fellow robot.
He narrows his optics and weapons at you and says, "Intruder, analyzing." Do you want to continue trying to talk to him?
What can I do? What test can I do here?
You can do, if you want to try talking to him and convince him, you can do this. It could
Yes,
be.
I'm just trying to think if maybe there's like an intelligence test.
Yeah, I'll give you like a charisma plus speech
Yeah, I'll do that.
with a difficulty of 2.
Just spend an AP.
Sure can.
You can do anything. You are Marvin.
You can do whatever you like.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 with a critical fail that I'm gonna reroll. Yeah, do that. Okay, so
Definitely got it.
yeah, so I got
Wow.
2 AP back in your forehead.
Spend 1 AP and get
Get
2
you
back.
back. That was a good deal. All right, so that's good. So I'm actually your effect. Your how do you talk to this guy? What do you say to him?
I am a fellow robot with a similar purpose as you. Protect the vault.
All right, so I'm gonna. So the results are depending on you. Do you want to spend 1 AP, or 2 AP, or 3 AP?
Do I get to know what this does? Or
No.
I'm gonna spend 3 AP.
It's 3 and 3 AP. That's the way to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Remember when we kiboshed him last time? We're like, can't use those. he's gonna turn this guy against.
I say you spend no APs.
Can't use AC
Screw that great roll you did.
Yeah, oh my god. AP to perceive. Yeah,
So-
That's the one thing we said no for.
So the Mr. Gutsy actually admires your freedom. Friend, you've broken free of your mechanical bonds.
Correct.
I
I'm here to save you.
admire your freedom. You could be a savior to robotic kind. And the Mr. Gutsy agrees to leave with you and cover your escape.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Come, friend, come. You're with Daddy Marvin
Yes, Daddy Marvin.
now.
Yes, Daddy Marvin.
I don't like
You guys like robot
So this, you did the best possible result. So you guys managed to get out of the vault, no problem, no problem. And this Mr. Gutsy at this point is worshiping you as a savior to robotic kind, and will follow your every command.
Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's he's got pretty good firepower, so he's gonna instantly have a good amount of aggro against him, and he will not be able to be repaired once he's lost his AP. But you pretty much got a Mr. Gutsy ally
Awesome.
that's gonna run around and follow you
So is this
and
gonna
do
work?
whatever you tell him.
Is this gonna work like having a dog meat or whatever, where I can choose to act, or I can choose to act as him?
Yeah, it's like having an ally, so you can send him out to do things. You can have him assist you in different things.
I don't like it.
But
Now there are 2 of them.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that
You can't
it's
smash them.
whenever we're walking around, me and my Mr. Gutsy are like kind of farther back from the rest of
Okay.
it. I want to make it clear that there's quite a bit of distance between us and the rest of the
I'm
group.
always walking at the back.
Everybody's always trying to be back, so we never go anywhere. We're actually like traveling backwards.
Oh man.
I mean, you got
So-
almost dying girl on you.
Once you get outside, this still unnamed individual helps Mr. Tallman actually lay Mika down on the cold ground. He removes his gas mask, revealing his face for the first time. He's a silver-haired, dashing man, but his eyes have compassionate tears as he stares down at the dying woman. Mika lets her head rest back against a rock. A peaceful expression touches her face, causing her to smile as she stares up at the green, glowing sky above. Funny, she whispers softly. When I was a little girl, I always dreamed about what the world up above was like. Blue skies, birds chirping, sunshine. Never imagined I'd die beneath the radioactive green sky. Never imagined it'd be so pretty. Ain't that a bite? Mika laughs musically to herself, until that laugh turns into an anguished cough filled with blood. The individual quietly hushes her. He looks over his shoulder to anyone watching and says sadly, "It won't be long now."
It won't be long, yeah.
So she is die. If anybody
Pouring down her throat.
who's been closest to, or you've been closest to her. So we're going to have actually Augusta do a charisma plus speech test with a difficulty of 2. Actually, I'm going to make yours a difficulty of 1 because you have shown her kindness before. So I think she'll be more likely to talk to you at this point.
I'm going to reroll using points. That is a success.
Is that a crit? Looks like a 1.
No, it's a 3.
So, in her dying breaths, to share with you that she has been hunted because the Gunners, which was the group of raiders that were at the vault there, learned that she knows the hidden location of an incredible old world device called a Garden of Eden creation kit, capable of terraforming even the most irradiated wasteland into a lush, fertile place. The Gek is hidden in her home outside of Diamond City. She doesn't think anyone will be able to find it. She hopes the perfect location to use the Gek. She hoped to find the perfect location to use the Gek so that she could lead her family and friends out of their dying vault and give them a perfect new home. She's very afraid right now, scared to die, and afraid that all of the work that she's done to get this far will be lost. There will be nothing waiting for her on the other side. The man that is still unnamed kneels again at Mika's side and soaks a washcloth with cool water from his canteen. He takes Mika's hand in his and lays the washcloth over her forehead. I'll stay here with you. Just rest, he reassures her. Mika only manages a weak nod of her head in reply. He squeezes her hand and quietly asks, "You remind me so much, my daughter. She's brave just like you. Is there anything we can do for you?" Mika cuts him off quickly, grasping his arm with a sudden burst of strength. "Diamond City! A man named Clements. Tell him Mika said it's time to find the promised land." And then Mika relaxes and exhales softly, her dark eyes drifting back up to the green sky above. "Ain't that a bite?" she whispers with her final breath. Bum, bum, ball.
Pizza.
Alright, so it has been several hours since leaving Vault 95 behind after Mika's death. The individual that has not been named has since chosen to introduce himself, since you guys have not.
Can we choose to ignore it and continue to call him Hey You? Even if he's told us his name, like we just just don't live it.
I both love and hate you. So Hey You has chosen to try to introduce himself as Dr. Rast. Because I know I'll just continue to say it, because every time it comes up in the script here, I keep trying to skip over it because he hasn't been introduced. Because I've made that mistake before. And so I'm going to just say it now anyways. If you choose to refer to him as Hey You, then that's fine by me, man.
It's not a mean thing to call him.
Yep. So the travel has been hard, but Dr. Rast continues to push recklessly ahead into the wee hours of the night. Slowly, the green hue of the glowing sea subsides in the dark sky above. Dark clouds blot out the stars, bringing with them a light but deadly rainfall. As the rain starts, Rast curses quietly beneath his breath and changes course, leading you to a burnt-out house nearby. Only sections of the house's walls are still standing amidst the rubble, but its tin roof still hangs on the ceiling, if just barely. It's at least enough to protect you from the worst of the wicked radioactive winds and the acid rain outside. "I slept here last night. It seemed safe enough," Rast explains quietly as he removes his lab coat and tosses it over a broken couch in the living room. Beneath the coat, Rast is wearing nothing more than a set of dirty underjohns. With a small gesture of his hand, he motions to a makeshift fire pit by which a small pile of unused dry wood remains. "I suppose we should stay here tonight. Diamond City is still a long hike from here, and we'll need our rest," he says simply, before he disappears into one of the back rooms of the house. leaving you all alone with each other.
Robots need no rest. We should continue on.
Cool. So there is a storm starting outside. That's also why we needed some cover. So how do you clearly, Marvin, are not worried about staying warm, despite the storm raging outside. So what do you do in order to prepare kind of for the night there, Marvin?
Go through the other people.
All right, fair enough. How about Mr. Tallman? How do you choose to stay warm with the storm raging outside?
I think we're gonna make a fire.
You gonna start a
Is
fire?
that fire pit?
Yeah. He motioned
pointed to the
towards a
fire
little
pit.
makeshift fire pit. Yeah,
He
you're
has
gonna
a flame. And we'll use some of his fire.
Yeah. Just
So
start
that would-
building the fire. So you're on fire detail.
Games, but starting with a robot split.
Yeah.
Yep.
The robot's fire.
Yeah. How about you, Augusta? How do you starting a fire? What do you do to prepare for camp for the night?
Honestly, my nightly routine usually has some sort of skincare regimen, but while I'm out in the wilderness, I like to rough it a bit. So I get settled on the couch for a well-deserved rest. I take out my own lab coat out of my pack that I use as a blanket. I drape it over myself. But I'm a light sleeper, so no funny business, y'all.
Maybe
Marvin finds you most fascinating.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
The next question is, does anyone have any odd habits that the other characters would notice? Well, gee, Augusta. Yep. Does anybody, you guys ask each other any questions at all? Do you guys choose to share any info with each other?
I stare into a corner.
Okay.
Try not to make eye contact with anybody.
You're snuggling up on the couch, hoping, but not hoping, but kind of hoping that somebody tries something.
Well,
It's been a while.
I'm as curious as a cat, so I'm not going to drift off right away. I do find my companions to be most curious, especially the robot in the corner doing the Blair Witch Project routine, but also a super mutant whose aggression seems tempered by his old-fashioned mannerisms. So I asked Mr. Old Tall Man, what brings you to these parts, and what drives a man such as yourself?
Honestly, just curiosity. Just want to see what the world is all about. And I just have almost no memory of anything of the past.
How?
Seems traumatizing, but I don't remember.
What's the earliest thing you remember?
Lots of murder.
Well, that's Jimmy's my Jimmy's. I don't think that's a Southern Belle term, but
Lots of murders, and then I ran away. I hid away for a while.
well, it seems like you might be fighting a darker nature. That's very noble.
Oh, thank you.
And Tin Pot,
The name's Marvin.
Marvin. I'm always curious when I meet a robot that seems more sentient than others. Where do you hail from?
That is a good question. I do not actually have a recollection of where I hail from, but I do know that I was around before the bombs. And it's been a long time. I've had to scavenge the Wasteland to repair myself, and it was not easy.
And have you ever let anybody else tinker in that big
Never.
brain?
Never.
You were very quick on the draw.
Never.
Are you sure nobody's ever fiddled with your inside
Never.
when you weren't looking? Well, maybe you would oblige me one of these days.
Never.
Because I could make you more than what you are.
I am the best version of myself. I am Marvin. Marvin needs no tinkering.
As another wise man once said, you're good, but you could be great.
I am great.
Could be greater.
Impossible.
Well, I think I've exhausted this line of questioning with these Neanderthals.
You're going to sleep now? You've had another exhausting effort.
Yes, but I make a point of pulling up my pistol, checking the mag, load full clip, sleeping with it on my breast.
Both of them or just one?
Just the one.
Oh,
One's
okay.
bigger than the other. So
I
it's like,
like it. I like it. Alright. So, you guys take a few minutes to stare into the corner and talk and stuff. After a little bit, Dr. Rass returns from the back of the house with an old, weather-worn guitar in his hand. He is no longer wearing his gas mask and has changed into a fresh set of clothes, a red wool sweater, and dark slacks.
oh,
The
Jesus.
doctor sits down and stares at the campfire. Sounds like Mr. Rogers. Like, hi there, neighbors.
There's always a douche at the fire with a guitar.
His eyes lost for a time in the dance of its flickering flames. After a few moments, he begins to gently pluck the strings of his guitar, just so slightly out of tune, and pleasantly croons a centuries-old song. So, are we going to? What's our plan for the night? So we're going. You're clearly already set up on the bed. You're staring at the corner. You don't need to sleep. Yep.
I'm gonna
counting
roast
wood grain.
this iguana on a stick,
Nice.
and then I'm gonna eat it,
Nice.
and then I'm gonna go to bed.
So, most everybody goes to sleep.
So I just had the iguana on the stick.
So shortly before dawn, the winds and rain stop. A stray wild dog approaches the house. The dog has a wolf-like maw, shaggy brown fur matted with rain and mud, and one milky white eye where it has gone partially blind. So Mr. Marvin, make a perception and survival test with a difficulty of 1.
Negative.
Negative.
Chief.
Oh man.
Let's go in Century. This way you don't stare into corners.
Could I have
You could look at the door.
Yeah, you could look out a fucking window.
Oh no, this one's with you. You got a friend.
Yeah.
You're double teaming it now. But you did not detect the dog approaching the house, which managed to sneak into the house and attacks you right away. It actually kind of comes just bounding into the building. You heard something just outside, but before you could put together what it was, this dog charges in at you, and he's going to try to bite you. He is going to bite you. He is going to try to bite you, but he is going to
He's so blind.
He is going to miss. He's so blind. He actually dives, and because he's expecting to attack like a humanoid creature, you're kind of floating your thrusters.
Does he take
And he
damage
kinda-
from my thrusters?
No, but he knocks you kind of spinning a little bit over this way, and he kind of lands, but then gets up right away and realizes that there's actually 2 of you and snarls at you viciously. And so now there is the rabbit hound, you, and your minion, your Mr. Gutsy.
So I can choose
That
to
worships
attack
you.
with the Mr. Gutsy instead of me attacking.
Yes, you can.
Is the other option to basically you get an extra die when you have him with you as commander?
I'm curious as to how much damage he does. I know he has 3 weapons. I think he has a flamer, a pistol, and something
Yeah,
else.
so he's got a flamer, which is damage 3, an auto pistol, which is damage 5, and then he's got his own pincer, which is damage 4.
Alright, I'll just buzzsaw him with 3 dice, I guess.
He can assist you. You can use your
That's right,
items.
3 dice.
Oh, I got you. Sorry. Yeah. So, go ahead. Let's see how the rolls worked out first.
Close, success.
Those nice, nice. All right, so we'll give you an AP back, and tell me how does Mr. Gutsy help you in attacking this hound?
Let's see where I hit him.
Okay.
I hit him in the torso. Okay, so that was my first thought. But
For those that are just listening, Thom was miming actually grabbing the dog, and I think buzzsawing him
Yeah.
partially through like like a bad B-rate magician.
Yeah, I say that's pretty much exactly what happened. He kind of grabbed the dog by the head while I just
You
saw
just
his
start
body.
into him. Perfect. All right, away we go with the damage.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Piercing
Woo!
1.
Oh, good golly. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
A lot of damage. That dog is bleeding out and yelping, and he is not happy at all.
This
and
pleases Marvin.
This pleases Marvin greatly. I am going to have him bite at the Mr. Gutsy.
Knock at that out.
Try to. The dog is awful. The
Dog is so blind.
He's biting the air. That one milky eye is really screwing him over. But you guys would wake up.
Yeah, did we hear this?
Yeah, at this point, you guys would wake up. You can kind of see the scene they're holding down. You wake up. See these two robots. One of them's holding a dog. The other one's sawing into him with a bus saw.
And laughing. Yeah, what's the M word for that name?
Maniacally.
Maniacally, yes.
Yes.
Laughing maniacally as he's sawing into the dog.
Who's got the higher initiative between the two?
That would be me.
All right,
Yes.
so what do you do, Augusta?
So the amount of times I've woken up to a scene very similar to this, I'm not stunned.
You're gonna monologue when you wake up.
Anyway, no. This is just for our listeners. What's going through my head? Don't get me monologuing because I could monologue all day. But I'm still laying on the couch and I still have the pistol in my hand and I just kind of turn and I aim and I shoot at the dog's head to kind of like hitting snooze on the alarm. And that's a success.
Nice.
Actually, that might be 2 successes. Hold on. No, it's just the 1 success.
And you were aiming for the head.
And I was aiming for the head, but I
got
have
the
my
pit boy.
pit boy. So that's 4 dice.
Oh, good golly.
And I just kind of 1.
Well, you just woke up. You can't.
I'm rubbing gunk
nobody's
into my
judging you
eyes.
for that. The fact that you managed to hit the
When I said snooze, I didn't turn the alarm off. I
You
just snoozed it.
snoozed it. You know it's going to be back in 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, it is still like the initial buzzsaw did a lot of damage, and I mean that shot that you did, despite it being only very little damage, it's still like it's enough to make that dog kind of drop. It's alive. It is it's whimpering. It's not happy, and there's still 2 robots laughing maniacally over him, which is just very disturbing. Mr. Tallman, what do you do?
I would like to use like my machete.
Machete?
Throw it.
I assume at the dog.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not gonna
I'm
throw.
done throwing my tomahawk. Those dogs, this calls for a machete.
This is a bigger reason. That's 3 successes.
Oh,
Wow. You threw. You have room for 2 more successes?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
perfect. There you go.
Sure
2 more
do.
AP for the pool. So you threw it with such force that your machete actually passed right through. He rolls the dice.
Torso.
Right through the torso. All the way through. Sticks in the wall on the other side of it.
Christ.
That dog is effectively dead.
I still
Should I
think it'd be
roll?
nice to roll the die to see how
Sure, why not?
gets.
2. Awesome.
There's
It's
a-
one. It's
that's
one
how
more
many
than what you
pieces you
needed.
use.
Yeah, 2 pieces. That's perfect. Wow, you guys are savage.
I just woke up. I was startled. My growls and yelps.
Yeah, just imagine you like sit up.
All in one motion.
Yeah.
The curl.
So let's do a endurance plus survival test. Each of you can do it.
Can I use Mr. Gutsy to help me?
Difficulty 0. Sure.
I need it.
He's not doing anything else. He will do anything you tell him to at this point.
He critically failed on me.
Oh god.
1 success.
I didn't get any successes.
I got a success, but Mr. Gutsy critically failed.
So, all right, this is fun. So you guys, it's a dead dog. You kind of poke it. You know, it's bleeding. It's dead. It's very exciting. Not too much. Now you two robot surgeons, you start trying to pick away at this thing, and you're pulling away some meat. So you, Marvin, managed to get one portion of mongrel dog. It won't matter. But you got it. You got some meat in case you're hungry. Unfortunately, with the complication, your Mr. Gutsy friend hit like an organ of some sort that just seemed to like explode in his face, like in this gush of like bile and blood and stuff sprays into him, and he freaks out a little bit. You know, kind of flies backwards and bangs into some cupboards and everything, and you can see a few little sparks fly from him. He's good, but he's definitely that freaked him out. It wasn't his shining moment, and I've taken away a little bit of his HP because of it. And that was your night.